I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here at FedScoop's ITModTalks with Bill Cohen, Vice President, Strategy and Business Development, Federal and Civilian and DoD at Salesforce. Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A little more than a year into the Biden administration, we've seen a lot of changes already in IT modernization. Wondering, where have you seen some of the greatest progress?
I've seen it in the increased mission system and customer experience focus. These are of course, it's highly related because the mission systems are where the agencies are interacting with their customers versus the employee or back office ERP systems, which are important but don't really change the way an agency accomplishes their primary missions, such as benefits, providing services, or issuing loans and grants. This focus is now leading to true IT transformation instead of what traditionally has happened, which I call lift and shift, which is taking an existing solution they have on premise and just putting it into an offsite data center. And with many of the agencies still spending the majority of their IT budgets on operations and maintenance, this focus on mission systems is really allowing them to finally transform their mission IT, which is again how they're accomplishing the services they're supposed to be providing, to leverage state-of-the-art capabilities with lower risks and trying to do it themselves by using SaaS software. And then the agencies leveraging SaaS solutions are able to focus on the mission improvement, bettering the customer experience, not expending as many IT resources as before, such as database sizing, server infrastructure, setting up multiple environments for development and test. And so these are things that are important, but they don't affect how the agency is accomplishing the mission. It just is what they need to work. Now, they've realized by using the SaaS solutions, they can now leverage the state-of-the-art technology that their constituents are saying, we want. I interact with my insurance company, my bank, retail companies, or even my local city, such as the 311 system. I can call, I can use a map on my mobile phone, I can text, or I can go to a website. They want to be able to do that with the federal government, but they've been trapped by these old legacy mission systems. And then they're also taking advantage of, for example, in our SaaS platform in FY21, we spent $3.6 billion in R&D. That's bigger than many agencies' total IT budgets. But agencies realize they can leverage that investment we've made and take advantage of that by using a SaaS solution to just get the software via subscription. And this has increased their ability to respond to changing needs much faster than they were able to do in the past. By using configured SaaS versus customized software, I personally observe customers being able to respond and develop new applications or changes for COVID-19, when they got the CARES Act funding for helping assist people who were affected. Also, we're seeing a spate of new executive orders and changes in legislation and regulations, where I've had customers tell us, this new SaaS solution allows us to make the changes that we physically were not able to make in our old systems, or much, much more rapidly than they could.
Well, next I'd like to ask, how has IT modernization helped federal agencies get a better handle on securing their most valuable systems?
Again, it goes back to the agencies are moving to software as a service from having their own data centers, or even when they've taken their own custom-built applications and moved them to a cloud infrastructure. They still have to secure the systems, and many of those systems were designed and built with security as an afterthought or bolted on afterward. Whereas with SaaS solutions like ours that are designed as a multi-tenant architecture, meaning we already know multiple people are going to be sharing this, we have to build the security in from the beginning, because if customers don't trust the solution, they're not going to use it. So, and then agencies have also realized these older systems, they're impossible to secure because the amount of custom code, the infrastructure is so old it can't be patched, and it's too time consuming. or it even may just physically cost more than a new system. So I've seen agencies using the transformation to check multiple boxes. They have to go to cloud or SaaS, check. They improve the customer experience, check. Improve system security, check. And then they improve agency or mission performance, check. And it basically all boils down to the old standby. I have to do more with less, check. And because of a SaaS solution like ours, the whole business model depends on the trust us with the information. So we have a solution, for example, that's a multi-tenant architecture, not multi-instance, which means we do an update to our software, which happens 3 times a year, and we've done regularly for almost 2 decades now. Everyone is running the same version of the software. Whereas multi-instance is similar to the IT model that's been running since the 90s, when you may have different instances within the same organization running at different versions, patch levels, and some of these have fallen so far behind. There's security vulnerabilities that are not being addressed. And then also, SaaS allows agencies to take advantage of certifications like FedRAMP or DoD impact level, and that lets the agency speed the ATO process and reduce the risk versus developing their own software.
Makes a lot of sense. Next, let me ask you about, the White House issued the executive order on customer experience. And I'm curious from your perspective, how you've seen federal agencies take steps to deliver better digital services to American citizens.
Sure. Customer experience has been a focus for a while, even before the executive order, but obviously we're seeing more interest since the executive order. The problem is obviously no budget's been passed yet, so it's limited new starts. But agencies are planning their transformations to include digital self-service with electronic signatures, case management with automated business rules to speed the processing, and then integrating multiple systems to prevent rekeying and entry errors, and then also streamlining applications just to make them easier to fill out. And where possible, to auto-populate data where they already may have it, and then just generally eliminate the paper. Also, multiple agencies are looking to embrace mobile applications. They realize, again, many of their constituents are looking to interact with the agency on their mobile phone the same way they do with many of their other commercial organizations they interact with on a daily basis. Basically, citizens are saying, I live on my mobile phone, but when it comes to the federal government, why do I have to call an 800 number and wait on hold, physically go into an office, or even just wait on the mail because some form requires an old-fashioned wet signature? Other way agencies are developing better digital services, they look at the customer journey that someone may have with their agency or even multiple agencies, and creating a single digital portal across multiple systems for all their services. So in the past, when someone such as, let's say, a farmer had to interact with the department, they would physically have to go to multiple offices in different locations just to get all the potential benefits they may be eligible to or the services of that department. Whereas now they've created a single digital portal that they can go to for all the services they might need across the department. That's made it much better for those constituents. They don't have to spend all day driving from office to office. Also gives them a portal to see all their interactions with the department, but it also gives the agency unprecedented visibility into what they're doing to service that constituent across all these different programs that were traditionally held in multiple stovepipe systems. So you didn't know that person was interacting with you across all these different areas.
Finally, Bill, what across the federal IT landscape stands out to you as having the biggest potential or need for modernization in coming years?
Again, it all goes back to the mission systems. They have the biggest potential and the biggest need. The key is for organizations to really have true IT transformation and to realize the biggest benefits. Traditional modernization efforts like lift and shift only have returned like 10 to 15% reduction in costs without really changing the way the mission's accomplished. But transformation will allow them to determine how they're accomplishing their missions and get all the basic data critical data, which is that agency's reason for being, because those systems determine how long it takes to get a benefit, or unfortunately, how many months is the backlog, and in many cases determines the process everyone has to follow. I know it'll improve not only the customer experience, but the employee experience. How many times have we been on a call or working with someone and they said, I'm sorry, we have to do it this way because this is the system I have to enter the data in. The employees are not happy, the customer's not happy because in a lot of cases, it's not intuitive. It also can fix the problem with the organizational stovepipes because all that data is in different systems that have evolved over time. But by changing that and following more of the customer journey, you can improve the experience for the customers and for the employees and mission performance. Because the one quote I remember from a while back is I was talking to a department leader. I said, what do you think really needs to happen for you to truly transform the way you accomplish your missions? And he said, we have to get out of the software development business because we're horrible at it. So by transforming their systems to software as a service solutions, they can accomplish the mission better, improve security, improve customer experience, and employee satisfaction by enabling them to get out of the software business and allowing to focus on their mission, which is their whole reason to be.
Absolutely. Well, Bill Cohen, thank you so much for joining us and sharing some of your insights on IT modernization in the federal government.
Thank you so much for having me.
And look for more of our coverage on IT modernization on fedscoop.com. Thanks for tuning in.